guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be sharing with you 3 recipes, a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner that all have 50 grams of protein per serving. If I can have some high protein options ready to go in my fridge or just have some solid recipes on hand, it just helps me so much. So this week I actually meal prepped a breakfast and a lunch, all with 50 grams of protein. And then the dinner is a dinner that I made for my entire family. I don't always meal prep my dinners because I have 4 kids if you're new here. I'm cooking for all of my family, so it doesn't really make sense for me to always meal prep a dinner unless I'm meal prepping something for the entire family. But anyways, for the recipes, today I'm gonna be sharing a strawberry milkshake flavored overnight oats. So easy to have in the fridge to pull out in the morning if you want a quick breakfast, or if you're like me and you like eggs every single day, you might want to use this as a post-workout snack, and it's meal prep friendly, which is awesome. And then the lunch today, which is probably my favorite recipe, this turned out so delicious. I made a salmon with dill and orzo salad. I meal prepped this again, so I have 2 of these in my fridge. 50 grams of protein. It requires no reheating, so you can take it with you on the go, packed with flavor and just nutritious ingredients. I'm really excited about that one. And then for dinner, I made a balsamic chicken breast. My whole family loved that recipe, so I'm excited to share that with you as well. I'm gonna type all of the recipes up for you in case you want to try any of these recipes, and I will put it in the description box below. And if you're new here, my name's Melanie. I am a stay-at-home mom of 4. I love high protein foods. I eat a high protein diet, and I love sharing the recipes that I love and enjoy with you as well. So if that interests you, or you're trying to get healthier, get more protein in your diet, or just live a healthier lifestyle, especially if you're a mom like me, make sure to hit the like and subscribe and join my YouTube family. All right, let's jump into today's recipes. To naturally sweeten these oats, I'm just soaking 1 date and giving it some time to soften up before I add it in the blender with my milk. And in the meantime, I'm just going to measure out some of my dry ingredients. Now I'm just adding 1 cup of oats along with 2 tablespoons of chia seeds to a separate bowl. I love chia seeds because it's going to give you a lot of fiber. It's also going to give you an extra 4 to 5 grams of protein in this recipe, along with omega-3 fatty acids. And then I'm adding in some protein powder. I use a whey isolate protein powder, and mine actually has 35 grams of protein per scoop, along with 1 scoop of collagen powder, which is really beneficial for your hair, your skin, your joints. So many benefits. I love adding collagen powder to everything. And now another protein boost or a hack that I use all the time is instead of buying regular milk, I buy high protein milk. This is so easy to find now. I just found one recently that has 20 grams of protein per cup. So that's what I'm using in today's recipe, along with some plain 0% Greek yogurt. Half a cup is 13 grams of protein, a little bit of almond extract and vanilla extract. Just a 1/4 teaspoon can transform any dish, give it a naturally sweet almond flavor without adding any extra sugar or calories. And I'm also adding a little bit of vanilla extract as well. Okay, so now that your date has had some time to sit in the hot water, you do want to make sure that you remove the pit from the date before adding it to the blender. Unless you're looking to financially support your dentist this month, trust me, you don't want to forget about the pit. Okay, now to turn this into a strawberry milkshake flavored overnight oats, I'm adding some fresh strawberries in with the milk, and I'm just going to blend everything together until it's nice and smooth. Be careful here not to overblend everything because it will get super frothy. But don't worry if you do have some froth, that's totally normal. Mine was actually quite frothy, but it will dissipate as it sits overnight in the fridge, so don't worry about that. And I like to let it rest on the counter for about 10 minutes before dividing it into my containers, simply because you want those chia seeds to absorb some of the liquid and just let everything thicken up a little bit. And then when you're dividing it, make sure to scoop right to the bottom and try to divide it as evenly as possible. Otherwise, you might find that one gets a little bit thicker than the other, and that's totally fine, but just do your best. So if I'm being honest, I haven't actually been much of an overnight oats person until recently. I actually had 2 friends reach out and tell me, you have to start making overnight oats. It's the perfect, easy thing to throw together and store in your fridge. It lasts for a few days. It's so delicious. It tastes like a dessert, and it's really convenient. You can take it with you on the go. I like adding the addition of the chia seeds because it does get thicker And if you do want an even thicker consistency, just reduce some of the milk. Mine was a little bit liquidy, which I prefer. And then I can add in extra toppings like some extra strawberries, a little sprinkle of coconut to kind of thicken things up a little bit. But just keep that in mind when making this. If you do prefer a thicker oats, just reduce the liquid. And then if you want it a tad sweeter, try adding a splash of maple syrup. Just a little bit runny, so if you're okay with that consistency, but if you like it a little bit thicker, just use a little bit less milk, and then you can always add a splash more when you're eating it. Okay, so this salad is turning into my newest obsession, and I know I say that a lot on my channel, but guys, I'm such a foodie. I love food so much, so when I find a recipe that I love, I just make it over and over and over again. One of the reasons I love this recipe so much is because it uses canned salmon, which requires so much less cooking. It's really easy to have simple proteins like canned meats in your pantry, and the only cooking you have to do is the orzo pasta noodles, and those only take about 10 minutes. So while those noodles are cooking, I'm just gonna prepare the salad dressing. So I've juiced 1 lemon, I have some olive oil and honey that I added, along with a splash of apple cider vinegar, which is gonna help with digestion, and it can also help with blood sugar spikes after a meal. Fun fact for you there. Now this is an interesting addition, but trust me, it works. Sometimes I do like to add pickle juice in with my tuna salad, but I thought caper juice would be even better in this recipe. And I'm also gonna be including some whole capers as well in with the salad. So once the noodles have finished cooking, you do want to stop the cooking process, run some cold water over top of those noodles, and just drain it out as best as you can. And now I'm going to be adding in some white beans. These are white kidney beans. I think they're also cannelloni beans. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but you could probably use navy beans as well if you can't find white kidney beans. Now it is very important that you use fresh dill in this recipe. Trust me, don't try to add dry dill. It really will not taste as good. So go for fresh dill and give it a really good hearty dose. I think it's about 1/4 cup that I added, but you could even go with more dill if you're a big dill fan like I am. And then I just chopped up a little bit of red onion as well. Okay, so with the canned salmon, if yours has the skin and the bones, you might want to pick those off like I do. I'm not a fan of the slimy skin or the crunchy bones. So just pick everything off, and then I did weigh it because I did want to make sure I was getting 50 grams of protein per serving. So I was weighing out about 350 grams of the canned salmon meat. I chopped up some celery. I'm adding in a little bit of those capers. They're kind of similar to olives if you haven't tried capers before. They're really salty, so you don't want to add too much, but they add so much flavor. So just a spoonful is enough. Definitely have to give this a try before it goes in the fridge. Needs a little more salt. Yep. When you're serving it, squeeze a little bit of lemon juice on top because the noodles will absorb some of that sauce that we made. So to prevent it from drying out too much, to give it a little flavor boost without adding any extra calories, squeeze a little lemon. You know when you're eating something and you just know it's nourishing your body? This is it. One for me. One for the husband. The first step for this recipe is making a quick balsamic reduction. It takes about 20 minutes to prepare, but most of that time is completely hands-off. All you do is you pour in your balsamic vinegar to a small pan or a pot, and you add a little bit of maple syrup, or you could even use honey if you don't have maple syrup. And then you just let it gently simmer on the stove. You're going to notice some froth will start to form, and that's a good sign. That means that it's almost done. Once it's thickened and it's reduced by about half, I've poured about 3 or 4 tablespoons in a jar for my marinade for my chicken, and the rest I've just set in a separate bowl that I'm going to be using a little bit later. So for the marinade, once the reduction has cooled slightly, I'm adding in the juice from 1 lemon, along with a 1/4 cup of olive oil. And if you do notice that your balsamic reduction is really hard, you can just throw it in the microwave for about 10 seconds and it will loosen right up again. And then I'm squeezing in 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard, and then for a little bit of sweetness, I'm adding a spoonful of honey as well. You don't want to skip out on the honey because it does help the chicken caramelize as it cooks. And then I'm adding in 4 cloves of garlic. Now I'm adding in a spice called Herbes de Provence. This is a blend. I think it's pretty easy to find, but if you do have a hard time finding it, you can always substitute an Italian seasoning mix instead. And then I'm also adding in 1/2 teaspoon of smoked paprika, but you could also use a sweet paprika as well. That would be lovely. And then a little bit of salt and pepper, of course. Give everything a stir. And now I'm going to prepare my chicken breast. So I'm using 4 chicken breasts total for this recipe, and mine had quite a bit of fat still on the chicken, so I just wanted to clean it up first before throwing it in the bag with the marinade. So I just took some time to cut off any extra fat, any of the yucky bits off of the chicken, and then I'm throwing it in a large Ziploc bag, and I'm just going to pour that marinade over top, give everything a good mix, and then I'll throw it in the fridge for about 4 hours. And I wouldn't recommend going longer than 4 hours because it has so much lemon juice. It's actually gonna start to denature some of the protein in the chicken and turn it a little bit white and weird. Kind of like a ceviche, but nobody wants a chicken ceviche. That just sounds disgusting. Okay, so now I'm just preparing some baby potatoes. I just do these really simple. I added a bit of butter to the pan. I'm just browning all of the potatoes first, and then once they have a nice color, I pour over some chicken broth, pop a lid on it, and give it about 20 to 30 minutes on the stovetop. And now that my chicken has rested in the fridge for 2 to 4 hours, I'm taking off some of that marinade. You don't want it soaking wet in that marinade when it's on the pan. Otherwise, it won't caramelize as nicely. So just kind of drip off the chicken, add a little bit of salt and pepper, and then put it in the oven at 425. And now the timing is going to depend on the thickness of your chicken. Mine took around 25 minutes, but you can use an internal thermometer. I pull mine out a few minutes before it's fully done, and then I cover it with foil so it kind of will continue cooking for about 10 minutes covered on the countertop. And this just makes for the juiciest chicken. Now I wanted to make a nice side dish that didn't require any cooking, but still added a little bit of extra protein. One of my favorite foods is cheese. I love a good cheese, and fresh mozzarella cheese. Oh yes. So actually, mozzarella cheese does have a decent amount of protein. 4 slices of the mozzarella cheese is going to add 5 grams of protein to this meal. I'm just layering the tomatoes with a light mozzarella and some fresh basil. I drizzled a little bit of olive oil and a sprinkle of some flaky sea salt. And I'm not quite done yet. I'm going to use some of that balsamic reduction and drizzle it over the top.